Hey, everybody, and welcome to what is officially your last Tuesday tune-in for the cohort. I always hate doing the last ones because I've enjoyed interacting with you in feedback, even if you have to put up with my dad jokes, and as well as these wonderful little things. I love doing the Tuesday tune-ins. But that being said, even though we are quote unquote finishing up this week, Module 8 is what's due. Obviously, our deadlines are not super fierce in terms of, if you're running late, we're going to accept your stuff. Don't worry about that. It's when it gets a little longer than that full 2 semesters that we say, well, you might want to start again. So keep that in mind. But anyway, again, thank you guys so much for all the effort that you've been putting in. I really enjoyed the 9 principles activity that you all contributed to. I loved learning about the principle that you're already doing, and really in some cases really explaining how you're already doing it. And that kind of was like some light bulb moments for me to see how you were doing that. And then the principle that you were really interested in learning more about. And again, I would tell you, lean into your instructional designers for assistance in all those areas, right? I know some of you were looking for ways to bring in guest speakers, and others were looking for ways to do some more collaborative work and making things more authentic and other types of things. But just lean on your IDs. They've worked with your colleagues, so they've got some good stuff that they can share with you. And we've done research in these areas too, so that's definitely helpful in terms of types of assessments that work in different environments, not necessarily research into your content. But anyway, again, keep continuing to turn that stuff in. I'll be grading it for you. And Module 8, which is an important module because it covers, from a content standpoint, because it covers all of our support services, all the things that we do for you and your students at SHSU Online or at the TSIS support group as well. But more importantly, it's got some things that you're going to be turning in, which I think are going to be valuable for you, but also for us as a way to measure where you've been and where you're going, right? The 3 statements journal is one of my favorites. It has 3 statements that you'll respond to. And it kind of, for me at least, it kind of helps put in perspective your time in the program and things that you've picked up on and good stuff like that. So I really like that particular activity. I love providing feedback for it. Another one is the show and tell discussion. The show and tell discussion allows you to actually show and tell. So taking some of the things that you've picked up on that you're implementing and getting a screenshot of those and putting them in the discussion and sharing those out with us. And then for those of you that have never taught before, maybe something that you've built out that you're ready to try and you're screenshotting in and showing us about. And come back to us and let us know how that is. Beyond that, the post-assessment activity. Remember, we had a pre-assessment activity. You're going to re-ask yourself some questions and do some reflection about your time in the program. But most importantly, everything's most importantly, make sure, if you haven't already, get those instructional designer meetings set up. Reach out to your instructional designer and get that collaboration going so they can assign the points for you, because that's really your last kind of hurdle to clear in order to quote unquote complete or graduate the program. So anywho, those are kind of what's happened and what's coming. I want to point your attention to one other thing. We've got a new blog post up, and I'll share the link in the announcement so you'll get it there. And this is our instructor support blog that we put out. Ultra is in many ways a work in progress. They're adding, they're updating, they're bringing new stuff to it every month. And so they've made some changes. And so I want to, in one article, a lot of the questions that we'll get from instructors are, how can I best monitor my student activity in the course? How can I ensure that they're engaged, interacting, all of those kinds of things, right? So we've kind of summed it all up in a post on monitoring student activity in Ultra courses. And in this post, we cover progress tracking, which I covered previously with you in one of our Tuesday tune-ins, but it's got a new feature. It has the student side of progress tracking, but it then has the instructor side. Now, things that I can see from an instructor standpoint about how students are progressing through my course. Big deal. read about it. I think it's going to be very helpful for you in the program, so please take the time to learn about it. Then student activity and reporting, something you may not know about. You can look at your assignments and assessments and even discussions and get data around graded activity. And that shows up here. All I need to do is go to the student assignment or assessment and go to the student activity option and learn more about it. And then I can get a report here. Then you'll learn more about this in the reading on the blog post. But beyond that, I can get to discussions too via some discussion analytics that's also available. When I go to the discussion and click that more 3 dots, I get the view analytics, and then I get analytics around that discussion and see who's posting and people with the most replies and all that good stuff. Then we talk about activity stream alerts and how those work to let you know who's falling behind. And then a secret area, if you will, it's not so secret, called the class performance area in your course. I have a link to it in the blog because it's really in depth. It will take you through it, and then how you can view individual student data and then reach out to the students about how they're doing and performing in your course. So this blog post can be found at shsuonline.wordpress.com. I will include it in the announcement so you'll have it there. I have to say again, thank you all so much for taking part. I've really enjoyed it. I enjoy learning from you as you make your way through the program, and I hope that you've come out of this with some of the things that you hope for. If not, make sure to reach out to us. Give us feedback on ways that we can improve, but also reach out to your instructional designer so that they can help you in the efforts that you're making right now in your online or hybrid or web-enhanced courses. Thank you all again, and happy teaching.